YouTube, what's going on? Yeah, man, doing a live feed. But yeah, got the new coolant reservoir on there. We got the new coolant reservoir on the truck. What's going on? Yeah, we got it done, man. See the new coolant reservoir? Hold on, let me turn around. Yeah, we got the new coolant reservoir on there. We got the new hose. We got the new hose on there. See there? Right there. Then there's a part that goes down to the air compressor. See there? You see any leaks? I don't see none. Is it leaking? But yeah, you're supposed to screw the brackets. There's like a bracket that holds the holes right here. And then there's another bracket that plugs into there, but I don't think I'm gonna put those back on there. I'm gonna go to Home Depot here in a minute and see if I can find some zip tie brackets. See, like right here, if you look down in there, they got one on there. Like, they're like these right here, but they're plastic. You want the plastic zip ties so that way, as the truck, because when you running down the road or you cranking the truck up, these pipes, they flex, and for vibration they flex. So I don't know why they use plastic. This is a plastic pipe. It don't make no sense. It's a plastic pipe. It don't make no sense for this to be plastic. Like, they got all these rubber hoses. See, this is a rubber hose. I mean, these air hoses are plastic, but it's, you know. And then you got these hoses right here. They could have used a braided hose that screws on, that runs back there. They just wanted to be cheap. That's Freightliner for you. See, like right here, they got one. See, this is what I'm looking for. I know they have some at Home Depot. I know they sell them for high temp. You know, because I know this motor gets hot, and I'm sure this thing is able to withstand high temperatures. I mean, they got them all over the place. See, here go one right here. See, big face. What's going on? Yeah, man, I'm working on the truck, man. So here go the old one. So if you got a Freightliner, Cascadia, you might, if you got about 400,000 miles on your truck, I say 300 to 400,000 miles on your truck, you might need to just go ahead and replace your coolant reservoir tank and your you might need to go ahead and replace your coolant reservoir tank and your and some other hoses on your truck, because on these Freightliners, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a crack, like right there. You see it? I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's right there. And I figured since it's slow season right now, go ahead and get this stuff done now, so you be sitting on the side of the road. And this hose here, it's got a crack. It's got a little bitty crack right there. See it? A little bitty crack. But yeah, man. So when you go down there, to Freightliner, I probably spent about $500 on stuff. To tell you the truth, the coolant reservoir, that was like $260. The hose was $25, and I got like 10 gallons of I bought 10 gallons of coolant. Let me show y'all. So I bought 10 gallons of coolant right here. 10 gallons. 10 gallons of coolant. You're probably looking at about 10 to 11 gallons of coolant. That's probably what you're going to be looking at. So, but yeah, man. I was up all night last night doing all this stuff, man. I had a good time, though. It was fun. Any of y'all that like to work on stuff, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's fun working on stuff. You know? I just don't like being stuck on the side of the road. I don't mind working on it in my driveway. So I just don't like working on stuff on the side of the road. I've been on the side of the road working on stuff. But yeah, man, let me show y'all the new. There go the new Reservoir, brand new. We got it in there. But pretty much, it's a pretty easy job, you know. You got a bolt right here. You got a bolt right here. You got 2 bolts up here. 1, 2. And then you got this hose right here that goes from the radiator back to the cooler. Hold on. This thing right here is the EGR cooler. So you got these hoses right here. They go back there. And you got this big hose right here. I forgot the size of the wrench that you're gonna need. You're probably looking at maybe like a 18 millimeter. I got a bunch of metric tools, so I got some standards, but most of my tools are metrics because most of the cars I've had, they're you know, like Nissans, Toyotas, like all the cars that I've worked on, Nissans, Toyotas, BMWs, and stuff like that. So I always use metric, but I have some standard in my toolbox. So you're gonna have to drain the coolant from that bolt right there. See that bolt with the hole in it? You got to turn that to the left and it'll drain all the coolant out. Get you a bucket and sit it down here so that the coolant will drain, so you don't get the stuff all over your driveway. Depending on where you doing the stuff at, if you're doing it in the on somebody's property, go ahead and get 2 buckets and put it up under there so you can catch that coolant. And basically you just get a flathead screwdriver and stick it up under there and pull them clips up. The hardest one is this one right there. It's up under these cables and stuff, but you can get to it. You just got to keep playing with it. You get up under there. I suggest getting a long flathead screwdriver so you can reach down there. It's a tough fit, but you know, you got to keep fooling around so you can stick your hand up under there and reach it. So, uh, I mean, I figure it probably took me about 4 hours to do it, 3, 4 hours. You know, because I don't do this kind of stuff all the time, but you know, see what y'all talking about. Let's see what y'all talking about. Big face, Bruh Joe, what's going on, man? I ain't seen you in a while. Hold on, Bruh Joe, what's going on? Jack Love, why do you see trucking as a low pay blue collar job when it pays more than? I never said trucking is a low paying job. I, you know, tell you the truth, I think trucking is one of the highest paying jobs relative to the amount of training that you require. I mean, you got um an airline. You know them people that sit up in the towers at an airport. Them people make 100K a year. You don't need a degree for that job. Um, let me see. I'm trying to think. You know them people. You know them people that sit up in them towers at an airport. Them people make 100K a year. I don't think you need a degree for that. That's a high paying job. Now it is a white collar job. You are sitting in an office, but you know, I don't recall ever saying trucking was a low paying job. Now, if you compare somebody who has a college degree, a bachelor's, master's, PhD, trucking is a high paying field to get into relative to the amount of education that you have. So in trucking, all you got to do is go to a truck driving school, 30 to 60 days, you can have a CDL and be making 40 to 50,000 a year. You know, now there are a lot of jobs out there where you don't even work. They don't even require you to have a college degree. Like I know a bunch of people who don't have a college degree and they make six figures. So in a white collar situation, you know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of getting into an industry and getting that training and somebody showing you what to do. That's all it is. Because once you get the job, all you have to do is just for the people to show you what to do. You do this, you do this. You fill out these forms. You sit on a computer and send emails all day long and sit in meetings. I mean, anybody can do that. You don't need a college degree to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I think our culture has brainwashed us to think that you need a college degree to make money, and you don't. College degree is good to have, but like if you're a doctor or something like that, or if you're an engineer, or you are a physicist for like NASA or something like that, yeah, you need a college degree. Yeah, you need a PhD. You know what I'm saying? Because these are highly scientific fields. You need people to know what they're talking about. But for a regular job making $50,000 a year, you do not need a college degree. You just don't. You know, it's good to have, but you know, I mean, it's more on the lines of just somebody. You know, it depends on who you know. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's just real talk in the real world. You know, in the real world, they don't tell you that. You know, because college is a business. You know, college is a business, and they want you to think that okay, to get a job, you need a college degree. In certain industries, yes, you do need some type of academic training, but beyond basic math and handwritten skills, you don't need no college degree, man, because you really don't. Um, you don't need a college degree to be a manager at McDonald's. You don't need a college degree to drive a truck. You don't need a, you know what I mean? Um, I mean, like I know a bunch of people in trucking and in administrative roles of trucking, safety, uh, the fleet managers, uh, operations managers, people who work at corporate in a lot of trucking companies. A lot of them people don't have college degrees. A lot of those guys used to be truck drivers and they don't have college degrees. So I think there needs to be a real conversation. People need to sit down and have a real conversation about, okay, the dynamic of education and how to apply certain types of education. Now, if you're an accountant, okay, if you're an accountant, yes, you need a college degree. You're a doctor, you need a college degree. If you're an engineer, you need a college degree. You're a dentist. I mean, all these high scientific, technical fields, yes, you need a college degree. Yes, yes. But certain basic jobs like to be a secretary, or if you work at a corporate office somewhere and you sitting up there with a master's degree, you making 50,000 a year. That just don't make no sense. The return, like, a lot of people, they spend they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars every year to go to school to go get a job that pays 50,000. That don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Since I've been in trucking, I think I started at maybe 40,000, and I say my highest take home has probably been right around 75,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? My highest, like, I don't say take home, but the amount of money that I pay taxes on is right around 75,000 a year. That's the most money, take home that I pay taxes on. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I got my own truck. I gross more than that, but it just depends on which field you're in. I mean, there are guys that work out in the oil field that make 3,000-4,000 a week that work out in the oil fields. You don't need no college degree to work in the oil fields. Now, it's a dangerous industry to be in, but I think it's just with society. Society has brainwashed us to think, yeah, we got to go to college and spend all this money and go into debt, and just to think that's a return on investment. That's not a good return on investment. Okay. Now, if you can go to college on a scholarship, if you can go to college on a Hopes grant, a FAFSA grant, grants like that, by all means, take that opportunity and go to school. But I don't think you should borrow money to go to school, because the return is going to take you 30 years to pay off a $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 college loan debt when you only make 50,000 a year. It doesn't make sense. And that's the real conversation people don't have, to really sit down and say, okay, I'm going to look into this industry. Okay, I'm going to be an accountant, right? I'm going to look into being an accountant. What's the average income for an accountant? Accountants, 60, 70,000 a year. This accountant make 100,000. This accountant over here make 40. This one makes 50. Okay, so to go to school, you shouldn't spend no more than maybe $10,000, for this training or a degree. You know what I mean? So if you can get a scholarship, grant, what have you, get it for free. But I don't think you should go into debt to do it, because it's going to take you a long time to pay that off. It takes a long time. Now with trucking, it makes sense to go and get a $50,000 truck when you grossing 10, 15,000 a week. That makes sense. And a lot of people don't have those conversations. They make decisions based on emotion. So, oh yeah, I want to go to school. But then You getting a degree in art. You spending $50, $60, $70,000 a year to go to a school to get a degree in art. That makes a lot of sense. That don't make no sense. You know that don't make no sense. You know what I mean? So you get this degree in art, you can't get a job with it, and the best job you can find, you're making $40,000 a year. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. But anyway, if you buy a Cascadia 125 brand new, you shouldn't pay no more than a total of first of all, you shouldn't be buying a truck brand new. You shouldn't be buying no truck brand new. You just shouldn't be doing that. You know, you just shouldn't be doing that. Jack Love, I do not advocate buying $150,000 truck talking about paying it off. No. Try to find you a good solid truck anywhere between 50 and like 70. That's what you need to be buying. You can pay that truck off in maybe 2 years. You pay, no, it doesn't make sense for you. You're not a fleet, okay? You're not a fleet. You're not a big major trucking company. Don't do that. No. I would, like, if you're gonna buy a truck like that, that's 150,000, 140,000, you need to be a seasoned owner operator with customers already. But if it's your first year out on the road, you don't buy no brand new truck. Don't do that. No. You need to find you a good used truck that's about 50, 60, 70,000. That note on a $50,000 truck, $60,000 truck, you'll be looking at maybe 15, 16, 1700 a month. You can do that as a new owner operator. You can do that first year owner operator. But you got a brand new $150,000 truck. That note you're gonna be looking at a $3,000 a month note. Okay. And when you don't have dedicated customers, it's a lot of risk involved. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. And, you know, like the Snyder Choice, the Snyder Finance program is not designed for guys to pay off those trucks. Now, you can try to pay it off, but that program is a lease program. I mean, granted, you can look at trying to pay it off. You can look at the balance, but that program is not designed for you to pay it off. It's a lease program. It's just like renting an apartment. When you rent an apartment, you don't sit down and see how much the payment's going to be amortized over 30 years. No, you're renting the apartment. You're just renting it on a year-to-year basis. That's what the Snyder Finance program. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I have a Snyder Finance truck. But my Snyder Finance truck is cheap enough to where I can pay it off. That's why I got into it. You know, I had a brand new $130,000 truck. You know what I'm saying? But I gave that truck back. You can go back in my videos and look at that black truck. But I got this truck. This truck is cheaper. This truck is $50,000. So I got a year left on it. You know what I'm saying? So you know, like I say, a lot of guys talk shit and they don't really talk. They don't talk like the truth. They don't give the truth, and they talk over stuff and they don't tell the whole story. And they, you know. But anyway, let me see what y'all talking about. Hard to catch you live when I'm rolling. Oh, it's all good, man. I got a bunch of videos, man. Let me see. Bruh Joe, on a previous video a while back, you said it was, and I was like, what? MD pays much less. I don't know what you're talking about, Jack Love. You looking at some old videos, like your mind is stuck somewhere else. I can't really talk about stuff that's old. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to get a Snyder Finance truck, use that truck to get to another place. You know, if you're going to get a Snyder Finance truck, get a truck on a 1-year lease. That's it. Don't go in there getting no truck on a 3-year lease talking about you're going to pay it off, because you're not going to pay it off. You could probably pay it off. You could probably pay it off. But you could have you could have in the 3-4 years it took you to pay that damn truck off, you could have bought 3-4 other trucks. I'm just saying, you could go to Lone Mountain and get a truck. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's why I tell guys to get a truck on a 1-year lease, because the 1-year lease trucks are generally right around 80,000. You know, I think that, you know, for a 1-year lease, you'd be looking at a truck that's about 80,000, and the truck gonna have about 250 miles on it. That's what I've seen. Like if I call my whenever I talk to my Snyder Finance rep about trucks, and they send me over all these different trucks. They have new trucks, used trucks. It seems like all the used trucks that's on 1-year leases, they're like 80,000 with 250,000 miles on it. You know what I'm saying? Or like the brand new trucks that's like 120, 130, 140,000. Those are on 3-year lease deals. I wouldn't suggest those, because you're going to give away 3-4 years of your life trying to pay this truck off. Don't do that. And you're stuck with Snyder Finance. I would push Snyder Finance to get a truck on a 1-year lease. Usually the 1-year lease trucks are right around 75 to 80, 85,000. That's a good number to work with. You can pay that truck off in about 2 years, 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying? You know, 35,000 a year, about 37,000 a year times 2. 60, 70, 70,000, and then you probably have like a $10,000 balloon payment at the end. You should have that cash. You should have that cash, or you can just go to your bank and get a loan. So that's why I push for the 1-year leases with Snyder Finance. I don't tell guys to go to Snyder Finance and get brand new fucking trucks. You never hear me say that. You never hear me say that. So I don't know what this guy is talking about. You should have changed the thermostat. Yeah, I thought about that, Raymond. Yeah, I thought about that because I spent like $100 in this damn coolant. These bottles of coolant is like $10 a gallon. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, because the truck is almost got full. It's got about 390,000 miles on it. And I'm sure the water pump and the thermostat it needs to be changed. So I'll probably wait the next year and do that. Knock on wood. I'll wait till next year and do that. That'll be something I'll do for next year. I'll replace the water pump and the thermostat, because it's getting some miles, and it's gonna need a head job. It's gonna need a head job. It's almost got 500,000 miles on it. So, you know, knock on wood, that's my plan. I'm gonna put that down in my plan, and next year I'll do that. But I should have done that, but it was a lot trying to do that, dog. It was a lot, you know. If you leased a used truck, would your payments be lower? If you leased a used truck, your payments will be less. But see what Snyder Finance does, they play this numbers game with you. Snyder Finance, they play a numbers game with you on the they play a numbers game with you with the payments. Okay. The principal payment per month will be cheaper. Yes, it will be cheaper. But then what they do is they put the maintenance. They put the maintenance. They charge guys more money on the maintenance because, quote unquote, you got a used truck. Yes, you're gonna spend more money with a used truck on maintenance, but I wouldn't do the maintenance account with Snyder Finance, because when Snyder Finance is holding your, I've done videos about this already, but see, all this money that I'm spending, this is all coming out of my business checking account that I'm spending out of my own maintenance account. This is Because like between all this, you know, maintenance on the APU, I spent $150 doing maintenance on the APU. Okay, the filters and all of that. I just replaced that coolant reservoir. I probably spent maybe $500-600. Okay, that's nothing compared to Snyder Finance holding your money, and you can't use it the way that you want to, because with Snyder Finance, when they hold your money, you can't just take your truck to any shop and have them build your maintenance account. You have to take it to a shop that's in their network, and it has to be approved by them. I'm not cool with that. I got a bunch of videos talking about that, but no. So Snyder Finance, my truck payment is $700 a week. It's $700 a week. The lower your payment, when you have a used truck, your payment is going to be lower, but they're going to charge you more for the maintenance. So say you have a newer truck, right? The newer truck, the payment is going to be $850 a week, right? It's going to be $850 a week, but then your maintenance, it'll only be $60 a week. $60 a week. So then your payment plus the maintenance, it'd be $910 a week, right? That's how Snyder Finance do it. You can opt out of using the MMA account. You just got to tell them and just say, hey, I don't want to do your maintenance account. I want to hold my own. I want to manage my own maintenance money. Some guys have luck. Some guys don't have luck or success getting out of that account. But I've had success. And you just got to keep talking to them about it. Just keep bugging them about it. And, you know, depending on who you talk to, which Snyder Finance rep you talk to, you can get out of it. So Snyder Finance don't hold none of my money. All they hold is $700 a week. That's it. They take $700 a week, and that's it. And then I put back $250. I put back $250 to $300 a week back in my own maintenance account. So if I need to buy something major for the truck, I got the cash to do it. That is if I want to use cash. So when you have a used truck with Snyder Finance, say like what I just said, $850 a week on a new truck, and then they charge you $60 a week for maintenance. Now on a used truck, they're gonna drop the actual principal balance down, say $650 a week, $700 a week, right? But then they're gonna charge you about $200 a week for maintenance, and then they're gonna tell you, well, you might as well get a new truck because your payment is gonna be the same because you're gonna spend more money on maintenance. Because, you know, they don't want you to have that cheaper payment to be able to run on that board the way that you want to. And that's their game. That's their ploy. They want you to have that high payment so you can be pressured to run the cheap freight on the board. You know what I'm saying? And that's their whole MO. You get on that board and, you know, I mean, it's going to be some good freight at times, and then at times it ain't going to be no good freight. So, I mean, like I said, I've talked about this already. I keep a spreadsheet on my truck. All miles that truck move, I think I average about $1.30, $1.35 a mile. I don't care what anybody says. I done ran the high loads. I done ran the low loads. I keep track of every mile that truck moved. Personal time, personal conveyance, all that. All miles that truck move, I've averaged about $1.30, $1.35 a mile. So, with that being said, you gotta know what's going on with your truck, so that way you can make these decisions on cost and how to manage maintenance and stuff like this. Because if you don't know, you just don't know what's going on. So, I mean, you sitting up there booking loads $2 a mile. Because don't get me wrong, I wasn't booking loads $1.30 a mile. I was booking loads $1.60, $1.80, $2 a mile on the regular. But a lot of guys, they don't keep a spreadsheet on their truck. So once you keep track of every mile that truck moves, you start to see the real rate per mile. That's the real rate per mile. Not the bullshit rate per mile that Snyder puts on the load board. Because you see a load paying, $1.80, $1.90 a mile, okay? But then once you calculate it, all the miles that you did to run the load, because what they put on the board, the miles is not the exact miles, because it may be off 20, 30 miles, okay? And then you got to factor in your deadhead and all of that. Once you factor in all the miles moved on that truck, you keep a spreadsheet on your truck, that $2 a mile load turns into $1.50, $1.60, $1.40. And then once you average it across 52 weeks in a year, all miles that truck moved, now your average rate on that truck is about $1.30, $1.40 a mile. I mean, some guys may want to argue with me, but within 5 or 10 cents, it goes back to what I was just saying. The board is fixed. The load board is fixed. So Snyder's got that board rigged up, and that's just the bottom line. They're not going to let you average $2 a mile because the board is fixed. Okay? They're going to force you to run the loads that they want you to run. They're only going to show you the loads that they want you to see. So that's just what it is. It's nothing that us drivers can really do except leave. You know what I'm saying? So, like, since I've been at Travel Loco, my average rate per mile has went up like 50 cents. You know what I'm saying? I'd say all miles my truck moved since I've been at Travel Loco, I've been doing like at $1.80 a mile, something like that. I've increased like 40, 50 cents per mile. Now, you could say that extra 40, 50 cent goes towards the trailer, but that trailer don't cost me that much money to run. Okay, I bought a tire since I've had it, and I pay $650 a month for the trailer. So that trailer probably cost me, let me see, if I do 10,000 miles a month, that trailer probably cost me, I would say a good 18 cents a mile. You know what I'm saying? That trailer probably cost me 18 cents a mile. I'm just doing rough numbers in my head. It's probably less than that, but I'm thinking about a good 18, 19, 20 cents per mile. So even if I do $1.80 a mile at another company, and then you factor in, okay, I'm doing 50 to 60 cents more a mile, and then you factor in, okay, I got to pay for a trailer. I'm still doing 30 cents more per mile. You know what I mean? So that 30 cents per mile adds up to a big number at the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? A big number at the end of the month. And to me, I mean, and plus you get the growth factor. There's a growth factor in there. And a lot of guys don't talk about that. They just look at the money as if you want to be driving a truck for 30 years. Really? You got to factor in retirement. You got to factor in growth. You got to factor in all this other stuff that a lot of guys don't talk about. Oh, yeah, I'm making $2,000 a week. But you don't have no mutual funds. You don't have no rental properties. You're not investing your money. You're just running down the road. You're not thinking long term. See? So, what's up, crazy guy? Can you do more videos about dealing with brokers? Do you know how much Thermo King charge for service APU? They charge $100, I think it's $110 an hour to work on it. It depends on which area you're in, but I know the one here in Atlanta, I think they charge about $110 an hour, which is fucking expensive to work on a small engine. I mean, them little APU engines ain't really much to it. It's like a lawnmower motor. It ain't really much to it. For them to charge that much money, that's insane. I mean, if you got tools and if you comfortable working on stuff, you can work on the APU, man. It's a little piece of motor. It ain't really much. It's unless you gotta take it to Thermo King. If you really have to, I do it. But if you replacing the alternator, it's nothing to replace an alternator on them little engines. If you got to replace an AC compressor on there, it's nothing to replace an AC compressor on the APU, man. It's nothing. It's nothing. You know it. You know. I mean, you can fix on that thing between loads. For example, if you running a load, right, and you doing a 10-hour break, you can get up under that APU and do what you need to do between the load. You can fix that on that thing at a customer. You know what I mean? It really don't require much to work on them little small engines, man. It don't. $110, $120 an hour. That's just too much. You go in there for about 2 hours. That's $270 something dollars just for them to put their hands on it plus parts. You be looking at $1,000 bill to do whatever they're gonna do to it. You know what I mean? That just don't make no sense to me. For a little motor like that, you know what I'm saying? But if you're not technically inclined, I guess you have to take it to a shop. Let me see what y'all talking about. Need subs. Thanks for advance support for trucker. Oh, y'all piggybacking off me. Okay. I mean, I don't have a whole bunch of subs, but you know, what would you say about a used 2007 semi truck for like 17,000? Has a Cummins 2007? That ain't bad. That ain't bad. How many miles it got on it? That ain't bad. I would go ahead and I would take that truck and have it looked at. That's all I can say. Anytime you buying something, you just gotta take it to get looked at. You know, take and have it to get looked at. Cause when you buying a truck, treat it like you buying a car off Craigslist. Treat it like you buying anything else. Okay. And see, when you buying a truck, you can use that in negotiating the price. If you want 17,000 for it, just like, okay, you want 17,000 for it, let me take it to a shop and have them look at it. Okay. With an old truck like that, you gonna find something wrong with it. So when you take it down to the shop, you have them pull the ECM report. You have them do a shakedown on the truck. Make sure, you know, go through the truck. It's gonna be something wrong with it. Now, once you get the report on what's wrong with it, you can go back to the guy and say, hey, man, all this stuff is wrong with this truck, man. I don't know if I'm willing to pay 17,000 for it. I mean, you can use that in negotiating the price for the truck. You know, you can get the truck down to 15. I mean, it is a used truck, but I'm just saying, you can get that truck down to about 14, 15,000. If it's a whole lot of stuff wrong with the truck, if it's gonna take $2,000 worth of work, hey, you can knock off $2,000 off the price of the truck. See, that's more on it. Take the truck and have it looked at. That's all I can say. So now it makes you participate in maintenance program now. Well, that's why I tell you to get a 1-year lease, man. Just get a 1-year lease. I mean, if you can, get a 6-month. Get a 6-month. Shoot. How long did it take you to get your MMA account money back from SFI? Tell you the truth, the truck that I had, it was a new truck. That truck was I think I had maybe like $1,500 in there because I maintained that truck pretty good. You know, I think I bought like a tire out of that account. I bought 2 steer tires out of that account and just PMs. So it pretty much used up all the money. I think I had like 1,000, maybe about $1,500 in that maintenance account because it's a brand new truck. The newer the truck, the less money they take out for maintenance. But that's just the game you got to play with them. You know, you got to play their little game. You know, I mean, if you can't get out of that a maintenance account, man, I would try to go somewhere else and get a truck. See if you can find a truck that's got that mitigation system on there. See if you can find a truck with that mitigation system on there. You have a better chance of taking it over Snyder. If you really want to go to Snyder, I would look out to an outside coming. MHC, they lease trucks. You got Wholesale Truck and Finance. You got Lone Mountain. They lease trucks. So, you know, try to find a truck. I mean, you got different trucking companies. They sell used trucks. JB Hunt sell used trucks. You got Crete. They sell used trucks. I mean, all these big fleets, they sell used trucks. I mean, Snyder, I think Snyder sells used trucks, but I don't think Snyder, they don't let guys buy their used trucks and lease them back on for some strange reason, which they want you to lease them trucks. That's all it is. I think it took 2 weeks to get my money back. It wasn't no money left. Tell you the truth, it really wasn't no money left because they charged me $1,000 when I turned the truck in. You know, they charged me like $900. It was, you know, it was some miscellaneous things going on with the truck that they nitpicked over. You know, they said the tires was run down and a few other things. So they charged me $100 here and $200 here for this and that, a bunch of BS stuff just to eat some money up. They didn't want me to walk away from that truck. Let me see what y'all talking about. Buy the truck, stay company, stack bread, then redo the engine with cash. Yeah, everybody's got a program. Everybody's got like a system on how to do things. I don't agree with doing that because it's going to take you so long to save money to buy a truck as a company driver. You just don't make enough money unless you get into like a high paying industry like the oil fields or something like that, or a call hauling situation where you're making $1,500, $2,000 a week and you making enough money and your expenses are way low. Or if you're a company driver and you're making $1,000 a week and you don't have no home expenses or nothing like that, you live on the road. If that's your goal, yeah, you can put it down on paper and have steps on how to do that to save up to buy a truck. But the average guy out here that's getting in the trucking, they got home bills, they got a car note, they got rent, mortgage, they got baby mamas, and that's not realistic. But if you're a single guy, you 21 years old, yeah, it's possible, man. It's possible. Yeah, I think it's possible. I mean, if you 21, 22 years old, you can run as a company driver for like your first year, stack up, say about 5 or 10,000, go and put down and get your own truck. And that's the path I suggest. Because when you're single, you know, 21, 22, 23 years old, and you have absolutely no bills, no major responsibilities, it makes things a lot easier. And you can come out in trucking and really do this thing the way that you really need to, man. You can save up, get you a truck and trailer, maybe your second or third year, man. After about 3-4 years, man, you'll be good. You will be good. You'll be working on a fleet. You'll be working. Yeah. If you 22, 23 years old, at 30, you'll be stepping out the truck. You will have you a good sized fleet. For real. I mean, yeah. But a lot of guys don't sit down and get a plan. They just get in the truck and by accident and it's just a job. Oh, I want to be local. No, man, you got to be serious with this thing, man. You can't be bullshitting around. You can't be bullshitting around because trucking is a very lucrative business, man. You make a lot of money in trucking. I mean, you can make $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9,000 a week, but you got to set yourself up so you can take advantage of those things. But if you got a whole bunch of bills, and it's really hard to really take advantage of it, and when you turn 30, 40, you'll be sitting good, man. Like you can have a fleet of trucks running. You know what I mean? But a lot of guys, they're bullshitting. You know, they like I've seen it, man. Like they get in the truck and making a little $1,000 a week, and then they get them a little charger and get them a little apartment, and now you stuck. You stuck now. Now you got these bills, and you know a lot of these guys retire in trucking as company drivers. You know what I'm saying? And you got to take this thing to the next level, man, because trucking is very lucrative. I mean, you can turn this thing into like $1 million empire if you wanted to. But a lot of guys be bullshitting, you know, like they sitting up there with a CDL making $1,000 a week bullshitting. Then they retire 50 years old, you know, like if you go to UPS or FedEx, I mean, you can retire at 100K a year, 80, 90, 100K a year. But I don't know. That's just me, man. Because like all this stuff about motors and paying cash for a truck, and I don't agree with that. I don't, because like I mean, buying a motor for a truck is just a business. It's just a matter of business. It's like these trucks gonna have to be replaced sometime or another, and you need to have the financing to be able to take care of it. You know, you need to have about $30,000 in the bank to buy a motor. You know, a DD15 engine for a Freightliner is gonna cost you about 20,000, 25,000. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the motor itself is about 10 to 15, but then you got to pay somebody to put it in. That's another 5 or 10. You know, you're looking at about 20 to 25,000 for a new motor. You should have that. You should have that. You should, or at least not have the cash, but at least have the financing to take care of it. So this business about motors and stuff like that, that's just business, man. You running down the road, your business is grossing $200,000-300,000 a year. You should have that cash to buy a motor. That's nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just business. Motors don't blow up every day, but when they do blow up, you should just have the money right there to take care of it. And you know, and see, like guys, they want to stay company drivers making $1,000 a week, you know, talking about healthcare and medical and dental and all that. That's all the tax deduction, man. When you got a business, dental, medical, that shit, that's a business expense. And it's just like all it is a tax deduction. So once you write it off as a deduction, right, on your taxes, it's gonna look like you only spent $20 a month for insurance, because you're gonna get it all back in the deduction of taxes. So say you spend about $300 a month for insurance, medical insurance, but you know what, that's $3,500 a year for insurance, right? That's a $3,500 tax deduction. So you're gonna get at least $1,500 to $2,000 deducted off your taxes. So it's gonna make it only look like you only spent like $50 a month for insurance. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like like a lot of guys make excuses to stay company, you know, when it's in your best benefit to go start a business, man. Go start a business. Everything is in your favor to start a business. And like a lot of guys, yeah, paperwork. And I got a whole bunch of videos talking about that, talking about taxes, paperwork, and like that's the ignorance in the whole game of this thing. Just like I was talking about college degrees and stuff like that. Everybody think you gotta have a college degree. No. Everybody think health insurance is expensive. No, it's a tax deduction. It's expenses up front, but then once you do your taxes at the end of the year, you get all that money back. Well, you don't get it back physically. You just get a tax deduction. So, like when you have a job, instead of them taking the taxes out, you get on your expenses. When you're doing your taxes on your business, you got expenses. So now you're deducting all these things from your taxes. Now you keeping all your money. You keeping your money instead of spending it. So like usually over the last couple of years, I've usually had about 15,000 earmarked for taxes. I set that aside for taxes, 15,000 a year. Last year, I didn't spend all 15,000 of it. I only spent like $9,000 in taxes last year. So I was able to keep about $5,000 or $6,000 for taxes. I just rolled it over to this year. So if you have a job, instead of getting a $5,000 tax return, when you have a business, instead of getting a return, you just end up keeping the money. You never spent it. You never gave it to the government in the first place. Because all the government does is they hold on to the money and then they give it back to you in a return. And so like people get scared saying, oh, well, you know, I mean, I can go on and on, but yeah, I mean, yeah. So like, you know, that's just the ignorance behind a lot of this, you know. If everybody knew the benefits of having a business, everybody would have businesses. I guarantee you, but a lot of people don't. So society has trained us to have jobs. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, guys be talking about, oh, I mean, y'all got me rambling, man. This ain't what the video's about. This video's supposed to be about the truck. Supposed to be about the truck, man. See there? I got the truck in the yard, man. See there? But hey, man, I just wanted to do a video for y'all. That's not what I was saying, Jack Love. I was saying, like, healthcare is something that you need. We're not spending money just to be spending money. But, like, when we talk about healthcare, something that you need, when you, like, okay, when you self-employed, you spend more than somebody who has a job for health insurance, right? Like with me, I spend about $300 a month for health insurance. That's very expensive compared to a lot of people who have jobs. But your company or your organization that you have a job with, they're taking the tax benefit on your behalf. You don't get the tax. Like, as a W-2 person, you don't get to write off health insurance on your taxes unless you spend a certain amount of money unless you spend a lot of money on health insurance. Like if you got an HSA or something like that, or you had a major medical issue in 1 year or something like that. But I'm talking about healthcare premiums. W-2 people don't get to write off healthcare premiums. When you're self-employed, you get to write off healthcare premiums. That $300 a month that I pay for insurance, I get to write that off. When you have a job, you don't write that off. But the reason why you don't write it off, because your company is already taking the tax benefit for you on their side, on the corporate side. As an employee of a company, you don't get that because they're taking it already. But since I'm self-employed, I got my own business, I get those corporate benefits. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, I'll pay for expensive health insurance up front, but then I get the tax benefits on the back end, just like the company does. They get the tax benefit, just like I get the same benefit. My company gets the same benefit as a mega company does, but not on the large scale, just on the small scale. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about just spending money just to be spending money. I'm talking about things that you need, you know, tires for your truck, healthcare. That's a tax deduction. So once you put the 1090, the 1040s next to each other, somebody who's self-employed and you put them next to somebody who has a W-2 job, the number's gonna come out the same. When you got a business, you in better shape because now you have ownership. You own a business. You own assets of a business. You own a truck. You own a trailer. You can take tax money and invest it into other ventures. When you're a W-2 person, you have no control of what's going on. All you get is a check. That's it. You don't get no tax benefits. So you just get your check and they just take the money. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, you know, just spending money just to be spending money. You misunderstand what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, this house that I'm living in, it ain't paid for. It ain't paid for. Everybody's in debt, man. I mean, if you really talking about paying cash for everything, like, I mean, you know, I mean, how much debt are we talking about? I mean, if you're one of those guys that's so adamant and scared of debt, you might as well just die because this is America. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's in debt, man. We all in debt. So, I mean, yeah, man, I know how to read a spreadsheet. I know if if your if your debt is more than your net worth, you have a negative net worth. I know that. I know how to read an income statement. I know that. But what you're forgetting is it's this thing called cash flow. Okay, I'm not smart. Why are you watching my videos? To tell me I'm not smart? What you forgetting is it's this thing called, yeah, I'm a debt slave. Okay. I'm gonna argue with you because you're somebody who's talking about debt and I don't agree with it. I'm sorry. I don't agree with it. I'm gonna challenge this guy here, Jack Love. This troll right here. You know, it's this thing called cash flow. Because like for example, like cash flow. You know you can buy a house on a 30-year note, right? Yeah, you're a troll. Yeah. Because you're a troll. And let me tell you why. Because you're watching my videos, right? You obviously like watching my videos, but then you come on my videos and tell me how I'm wrong and such. You know. So it's like that's what it is. So let me explain something to you. Yeah, but you taking it to another level. We not talking about trucks no more. We're not talking about my radiator. We're not talking about the truck no more. You're making this personal. You're telling me I'm a debt slave or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. That's why I say you're a troll, because you took it to another level. You made this personal. That's why I say you're a troll. I was gonna block you, but I'm gonna challenge you on something. Okay. Somebody like you, Jack Love, right? Okay, I don't own nothing. Okay, fine. Do you have a house? I don't know if you have a house or not. I don't know where you live at. Because you got to live somewhere. Either you're going to pay rent or you gonna buy something. And you don't sound like somebody who got $1 million to go buy a house. So most people who buy houses, they hold on, my battery going dead. I'm I want to talk to this guy. I want to talk to this guy, Jack Love. See, now he's making it personal. And that's why I called him a troll, because he's making things personal. Pass you a wrench? No, I'm not gonna block him. Because you know, he's probably what's his name? Be Smooth. It's probably Be Smooth. That's who it is. Be Smooth. But hey, I'm a debt slave. Okay, I'm a debt slave. I'm a debt slave. Let me address this thing about a debt slave. All right. So, Jack Love, where do you live at? Do you own a home? Do you pay rent somewhere? Do you live with your mama? I mean, more than likely, if you paying rent to live somewhere, or you have a house, more than likely you probably gonna have to get a loan, right? In order to buy a house, you're gonna have to get a loan. Unless you got $1 million. I don't think you have $1 million, because you wouldn't be watching my videos if you did. People who have $1 million don't watch my videos. Most guys who watch my videos are truck drivers and guys who want to get a truck and stuff like that. So you obviously somebody who thinking about future endeavors. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So it's this thing called cash flow. Cash flow comes in many different ways. Either you can have a job, right? If you have a job and you make about $4,000 a year, you have a job that makes $4,000 a year, right? I mean, not $4,000 a year, but if you have a job and you make $4,000 a month, if you got a job and you make $4,000 a month, say your household bills is at about $2,000 a month. After all your bills, your car note, mortgage, everything, you got everything, light bill, everything, $2,000 a month. So now you got $2,000 a month left over. Since I'm so much a debt slave, if I'm so much a debt slave, what would you call that? That's America right there. That's America right there. And you can apply that to business. You can apply that to household economics. I can go on and on and on. So like, for example, if you know with your truck, if you got a truck and you make $5,000 a week, your weekly expenses for that truck is about $2,000 a week, which leaves you $3,000 a week left over. What would you call that? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. But I'm a debt slave, right? I'm a debt slave. Just because I have a difference in opinion than yours. Okay, that's just leave it at that. I have a difference in opinion. So like, I don't believe in wasting all your time saving up cash to buy a large purchase. That's what I don't agree with. So like, for example, if you wanted to buy a house, right? So you gonna tell me you gonna save up $150,000 to go buy a house. I don't know what job you in, unless you're a doctor or unless you in a high paying field, a truck driver. Yeah, you can save up 100,000, 50,000, 60, 70,000 to go buy a house. But that don't make sense. It doesn't make sense when you can go down to the bank and sign a piece of paper and get a house, no money down. You get a house, no money down. And if you did have to put money down, you can get the 3% down and get a house. And the payment would be so low, so low. Okay? When the payment and expenses are cheap enough to where either you can rent it out, live in it. I mean, I can go on and on. Cash, then you have cash left over from the investment. That's what I'm talking about. Cash flow. And this is why I'm challenging this person, Jack Love, whatever his name is. I don't even think this is a real person. I think this is a troll. Yeah, man, you starring drama, Little Dog. I don't even watch Little Dog. Billionaires, look, let me tell you something. Billionaires don't got no time to be sitting around watching dumbass truck drivers sitting around arguing about stupid stuff. They don't know what they're talking about. Billionaires sitting around trying to figure out how to make more billions. That's what they're doing. They're not watching dumb truck drivers ranting and raving on YouTube about trucks and they just don't have the time. You know, because I know I don't care. It's like, for example, like I'm in this truck, right? Like, I don't care what's going on with Jay-Z, because like I don't care. You know what I mean? So it's like it, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. Yeah, this guy's a troll. I want to be like Lil Dog. Do you? I'm nowhere near Lil Dog. I think I'm in better shape than Lil Dog. Little Dog leases trucks from Traveloco. I'm not leasing no trucks from Traveloco. My trailer I got from the dealer. I got my trailer from I don't lease a truck. I don't lease a trailer from Traveloco. Let me put it this way. I haven't ran not one load since Christmas. I haven't ran not one load since Christmas. And I can afford to do that. I can afford to take off a month if I wanted to. Let me put that into perspective. So, if I wanted to, I could take off a good month. So, now, I don't think it's a good idea to do that, but I don't have no beef with Little Dog. I don't know why you bringing up Little Dog for, Jack Love. Like I say, you a troll, because you're doing all the things that trolls do. You sitting up here bringing up stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. You talking about I want to be Little Dog so bad. Like, what are you talking about? I watch Little Dog videos every blue moon, but like you starting drama. Leasing is better, 100% write-off. You try to tell that to Jack Love, but you know, you can't tell stupid people. Like, people that are blind, like they don't read. You know what I'm saying? Like, people who don't read, then they have stuff in their head. They're not ready to accept the truth. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, ignorant, uneducated people, they don't want to see the truth, right? And because they know they're going to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you just got to understand, you just got to learn to just shut your mouth and listen. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not trying to say that I know everything, but I'm trying to make a point is that with a lot of things, they're not what they are. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they have an opinion about stuff and they don't know where they got that opinion from. They just have an opinion. You know what I mean? But there's truth and then there's the false truth, right? So, you know, that's the deal. You doing all kinds of cotton picking. I'm doing cotton picking, right? Okay. I'm a slave. Okay. Yeah, I'm a slave, right? Okay. I'm a slave. All right. I haven't ran not one load since Christmas. I've been off since Christmas, so I'm a slave. Stupid, man. Y'all stupid. Oh, man. Like, you try to explain stuff to people, like, I don't get it. It's, as long as your debt pays for itself, you can make money. You doing it right. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know what you're talking about. You leasing with Snyder National, debt slave. I don't know what you're talking about, man. My truck gonna be paid off this time next year. I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't no debt slave. I mean, if you want to call somebody a debt slave, I mean, in this country, in this world, I think everybody's a debt slave in some way. But I mean, we gotta get our stuff some way or another. Like, I don't get what you're saying, man. But I guess saving up cash to go buy shit makes a lot of sense. You know, like you got 100 grand to go buy a truck. Okay, I guess you're gonna be a company driver for 20 years trying to save up to go buy a fucking truck. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. Man, you gonna save up $30,000 to go buy a trailer. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. Make a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm not. Nah, Nathan, man, he's just a troll, man. He's just somebody who just messed up in life, or they're just bitter with life. They coming on YouTube, you know, talking shit. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that you got to get in an industry that's very lucrative, where it makes sense to do things. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for example, trucking. When you can run a load in one day and make thousands of dollars in one day, just running one load, like, that's just, it's not too many jobs in this country where you can just do like a little bit of work and make a chunk of money at one time, just a lump sum of money. Like, there's no job. You can't work at McDonald's and make $1,000 running a 200-mile load. You just, 200-mile load, what it pays, $1,000. 200 miles, that's like 3 hours of work, man. Come on. So you try to explain stuff to people and they just don't want to hear it. So, like, and like I'm reading Jack Love. Like, the guy assuming that I don't know about money. Like, you just assuming that I don't know. Like, I follow Dave Ramsey. I don't believe everything he says, but I think having a good balance of the other, like Dave Ramsey is a great guy. I like that guy, paying cash for stuff, but It only makes sense when you're in a lucrative business to where you can pay cash for stuff. If you're working at McDonald's, there's no way in hell you can save up to go buy a truck. You just can't do it. Telling somebody who works at McDonald's to say, oh, pay cash. You be working 30 years trying to pay cash for something. You know what I mean? It's just, you know? And it's like a lot of people don't want to have the real conversation, okay? If you want to pay cash for stuff, you got to get in industries that pay so you can do that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, you got to, that's what you have to do. You probably got it from a rent center. You stupid. You don't even know you own your mattress. You stupid, man. I don't own my mattress. Wow. Let me put it to you this way. You know, Walmart, one of the biggest retailers in the world, right? They're in the top 10. Top 10 gross. They're grossing like 140 billion a year, right? You know Walmart got debt, don't you? You know you know Walmart is in debt, right? Yeah, Walmart is in debt. Snyder, they're in debt. Since Snyder now is a publicly traded company, now they gotta post their financials. JB Hunt is in debt. Swift is in debt. Like, that's what makes the country go round, man. As soon as you learn about cash flow, everything will be fine. You got to learn about cash flow. That's what you got to learn. Paying cash, it just ain't gonna work, man. You ain't gonna get nowhere. Okay, for example, if you got 50,000, right? And you got that 50,000 and you making it turn into 200,000, that works. That's how that works. That's how the game work, man. That's how the game work. But you know, 404 got him mad. I don't know. I ain't do nothing. I just made a video showing y'all about my radiator and doing maintenance on my truck, man. I ain't do nothing. Yeah, Nathan, man. Yeah, Nathan Nicholas. Like, it's called cash flow. When you make profit from an investment, it's cash flow. That's what it is. So, like, if you got a duplex, a apartment building that's grossing $10,000 a month in gross rents, and say the expenses on that apartment complex is about $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. You got the mortgage, okay? The mortgage on a $500,000 apartment building, for just say, the mortgage on there maybe be about $3,000 a month. And say the gross rents are about $10,000 a month. Okay. Okay, you got expenses. You got to pay for the garbage. You got to pay for the taxes and insurance and stuff like that. So say your expenses about $5,000 a month. You got gross income of $10,000 a month minus $5,000 expenses. Now you got $5,000 in cash flow, income, profit, whatever you want to call it. But you're trying to tell somebody that they talking about debt. Yeah, but debt is a tool, just like a hammer, okay? It's like stupid. It's just like somebody like that who just anti-debt, you ain't gonna get nowhere. Okay? You just ain't gonna get nowhere. Unless you get into an industry where it's so lucrative where you don't have to use debt. You know, everybody use debt in some way. You know, you're going to buy a car. You're going to buy a house. You going to use debt. You just going to use it. You can't get away from it. Even when you rent a apartment, you using debt. I'm just sorry to say, you using debt. It's just a different way to look at it. You just using debt. So, but, you know, you trying to tell people stuff and, you know, they talking about debt. You in debt. You know what you talking about, man. You know what you talking about. So, be more pneumatic, trucker. Be more pneumatic. Get a loan, invest the cash. I wouldn't get a loan to invest it. I would get a loan to invest in like certain, like I wouldn't get a loan to go invest in the stock market. That's just stupid. But I would get a loan to invest in like, I'm trying to think. I would get a loan and invest it in like you know, a truck. Now, like I would get a loan, I'll get a small loan. Now, you got to be conservative with it because you don't want to take out too much debt because then you're not making no money. You know what I'm saying? So, like I would get a loan to put down on a rental property. I would get a loan because like with real estate, you gotta make sure you have a built-in exit strategy. So like if you're doing a real estate deal, you got to make sure, okay, if it goes wrong, you can get your money back out of it. You know what I'm saying? So you got an exit strategy. And the same thing I applied to this truck. So if something goes wrong with the truck, I know I can get out of it. You know what I'm saying? I can, and that's why I leased the truck. That's why I continue to lease the truck. One, I didn't have to put no money down. Two, if something goes wrong with the truck, I give it back to them. You know? Because like if you go buy a truck from a dealer, that truck is yours. That's your truck. Now you're on the gun for however many thousands of dollars for that truck. Now, when you leasing the truck, you get the tax benefits and, you know, you don't have to worry about you maintaining the truck. But if something major catastrophic happens, you can give them the truck back. And like with Snyder, there's a clause in the contract. So if something goes wrong with it, they just give you a new truck. You know what I'm saying? So not small stuff. I'm talking about major issues. Like if the truck is down for so long, they have to give you a new truck. They have to, because you're not making no money. They have to give it. You know, they have to. Oh yeah, I don't mind Jack Love. You know, because Jack Love is just giving me free content. I got an hour and 30 minutes on here. I'm about to get off here in a minute. I'm out. 404 trucker, stay safe. Get that. My white dick Jack. Y'all stupid. I use borrowed money to make profit also. Yeah, don't worry about Jack Love. He just being silly, man. It's probably just somebody sitting at home jacking off in front of a computer. They ain't doing nothing. That's all they doing. Smart people use debt to get profit. They got MP debt. Stupid. You have more debt than cash. Yeah. Let me see. They worded the last comment the wrong way. This guy is smart. Y'all better listen. You going to pick cotton for me, little dog? Ain't no little dog in here. What you talking about, man? It's time for reefer trailer. 404 trucker crazy. What's good, bro? Happy New Year. Your business plan for the year. He probably don't. Didn't even pass the CDL test. Hey, I'm here. Yeah, new house. What's going on? Memphis swag. Timothy Ford. Yeah, man. What's going on? Yeah, man. I'm about to get off here. This video, hour and 30 minutes long. We just on here just kicking it, man. I appreciate y'all coming through, man. Shoot. Let me get a light bomb before I go. Boom. Let me get a light bomb. Boom. Light bomb real quick. Trying to figure this thing out. But yeah, man, I'm gonna finish working on this truck, man, and finish working on this truck, and hey, Jack Love, man, troll all my videos for me. Troll them all. You just go through all my videos and just troll them for me. Maybe I get another 1,000 subs off it or something like that. Oh, man. It's cold down here. I got this here. I got a Bendix air filter. Just doing some maintenance on the truck, man. Doing some maintenance on the truck. I gotta air the truck down. Get ready for so I can replace this leases for suckers and dummies. I know, man. I know. Leases for suckers and dummies. Okay. He sound like somebody who lives in an apartment that's leasing an apartment, but leasing is for suckers and dummies. You know, people be sounding so stupid when they say stuff. They be saying, "Oh, don't lease that truck. Don't lease that truck," but they leasing the car, or they leasing an apartment, right? They rent an apartment. Stupid. Cash flow, man. That's how the world goes round. Cash flow. That's what keeps the world going round, man. Cash flow. It's good and bad because, this country is in so much debt. It's just, they're going to have to come up with a new currency, man. They're going to have to come up with a new currency. It's crazy. Debt slave, back dancing. I guess. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what back dancing is. I'm stupid. Remember, I'm stupid, right? You call me stupid. I don't know what that is. Back dancing. But yeah, so buck dancing. I don't know what that is. But yeah, man, so that's what's going on. Just trying to get this truck straightened out, Oh, Alex Express, what's going on, man? I'm not stupid. Oh, yeah, it's all good, man. It's all in good fun, man. It's good material, good entertainment for my channel. It's all good. But I appreciate it though, you know. Somebody like Jack Love, you know. Cause I know it's like a bunch of BS just because pay off what he say? Jack, pay off bills for you. Stop leasing your house and utilities. Stupid. Oh man. Stop leasing my house. Yeah. Yeah. Stupid. Oh man. Stop leasing my house, huh? Travel Broco. Okay. Travel Broco. Yeah, man, like I say, it's all in good fun, man. I don't take none of this stuff personal. When I see guys like that, I try to, you know, take advantage of it because it's good material, good content for the channel, you know. I need something to talk about. A lot of times I don't even know what to talk about. I just turn the camera on and start talking. Yeah, but don't take him serious, man. He just travel broco. Oh man. But I mean, I have certain opinions on different ways to get into trucking. You just gotta sit down and have a business plan and you know what I mean, and make some sense of it. Because a lot of guys just jump into it and don't think about it. They don't get a calculator. They don't ask questions. They don't get a piece of paper and jot stuff down and be like, okay, if I go over to Snyder and I lease this truck, how much that's gonna cost? What kind of loads I'm gonna get? A lot of guys don't even do that, and it's good to be on top of things and make sure that everything is gonna work out. I think they call it a business plan. I think that's what they call it. So, you know, you sit down and try to figure things out and, you know, write things down and, you know, make a business plan. You know, so, you know, that's just what it is, man. I'm making debt in so many ways. I don't even know what you're talking about, man. Making debt. But hey, I'm about to get off of here, man. Alex Express, Jack Love. Let me go through here. Big Face Trucker, New House, Memphis Swag. Let's see, Timothy Ford, Rico Jones, Nathan Nicholas, Be More Pneumatic. All y'all, man. I appreciate y'all watching my videos, man. I'll see y'all next time.